Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny video. Now in today's video I want to talk about loot caves. Yes, that's right, caves plural. Now in the video I put up the other day about the patch notes, the recent hotfix that Bungie dropped, I discussed how they patched the infamous loot cave. The cave that everyone's been firing into for weeks to get those awesome legendaries, or potentially awesome legendaries. And yeah, it's now been patched, so the loot cave that everyone's been using before is no more. What they did to fix that was to normalise the respawn timer, so instead of having the enemies spawn every 6 seconds and keep flooding out so you can keep shooting them, they now respawn every 40 seconds. So that cave has now been retired. However, there are a couple of new options. Now, you might not like them quite as much as the other ones, but these are still potential caves that you can use right now until obviously Bungie find these ones and then patch these as well. So, going to discuss these and also discuss how you can use them for leveling as well, because there's an interesting thing to think about for these ones. Obviously, the primary reason for most people is to use these to get legendary engrams and all that good stuff like that. However, if like me you're leveling a second character at the moment, this is also quite a good way to level your character, but I'll get into that in a second. So these two new loot caves, or technically three, which you'll see in a minute, are actually all in the same location. They are in the Rocketyard on Earth. So what you want to do is, in order to head over to the Rocketyard, as soon as you drop in Earth on a patrol mission, you take a right and you go all the way through these stairs, through the usual kind of like interior place, and you come out to this big open area. You then want to go straight across over to the corner, sweep all the way around, and then you get to this area here, which is known as the Rocketyard. It's also the same place you spawn when you first start the Earth Strike mission. So this is the Rocketyard and you are now here. So where are the caves? Now the very first one, or two should I say, because these ones actually work together, are right in front of you. So as soon as you enter the Rocketyard, you will know, typically from being here before, that to the left there's normally a servitor and a couple of sort of dregs as well, and in front of you there's normally a knight and a few acolytes as well. So these are going to be your guys you're going to be focusing on. Kill all the hive, kill all the fallen, and you'll notice that right in front of you, the hive will then come out of this door. They will then come out there, and you'll then kill them. As soon as you've killed them, you then switch to the left, and the servitor will come out, and the dregs will come out. This is your kind of newfound cave. Yes, I say kind of cave in sort of inverted commas because it's not actually a cave, they're more rooms, but the principle is still the same. But in order for this to work, you need to switch constantly. It's really easy to do, so basically all you do is look in front of you, kill the hive as they come out, and if you've got a decent weapon, aim for the head so you take the knight out before his shield even goes up, then switch straight to the left and shoot the servitor and then the 3 dreg. Now the way that I do this personally is that I have my assault rifle for the hive because I shoot them as soon as they come out. Then I switch to the left and I pull up my rocket launcher and just destroy them as soon as they come out. Alternatively, I switch to my icebreaker, but I appreciate not everyone's actually got that. You can still do this with an assault rifle, but ideally you want to kind of maximise as much damage as possible. Alternatively, if you're doing this as a group, then what you could also do is have one person face forward, one person face left, and then you've got both bases covered. So this is cave number 1. Now obviously I'm going to show you here that you can kind of walk into the different rooms and pick up your stuff. Obviously right now there isn't actually any good stuff there just because I just did this for 10 minutes just to kind of show you how it works for the video purposes. But if you do stick at this, as with the other cave, after a while you will get your legendary drops, you know, blues, purples, all that good stuff like that. Anyway, so this is cave number 1. Now let's move forward. If you keep walking forward, go through this tunnel and you get to this kind of like main area where typically on the right hand side you have fallen, on the left hand side you have hive, and they are battling each other. So, easiest way to deal with this is to go over and kill the hive on the left. Once you've killed them, the knight, the few acolytes, go up to the top area and kill the rest of the acolytes there. Then look back at where the fallen are. Kill all the fallen and then you are ready to go. By standing here, the hive will not respawn. So then what you want to do is you want to look all the way over there, down to that kind of like doorway over there, and that is your next cave. Again, in inverted commas, because yet again it's another room. But anyway, from here the fallen will then start to flood out. Now, the interesting thing about this one versus, say, the original cave is that these ones, the enemies run towards you, which is quite handy because if you remember in the original cave, if you were trying to farm it on your own, sometimes the enemies would slip out, go to the side, and obviously if you leave them for too long and they go too far out, then they trigger the respawn of the fallen, which kind of messes it up. So, this is quite good because they run towards you, and by being where you are, the hive won't spawn, and you just pick them off. But ideally, for the kind of speed and obviously effectiveness of this run, you do want to try and kill them while they're all in that room. So again, you have a series of options. You can rocket in the room, snipe in the room, shoot and whatnot. Ideally for this one you want to have a slightly better gun for range, so the auto rifle probably isn't your best choice. I personally would go for a scout rifle or a pulse rifle, or again, sniper, rocket and all that good stuff. But anyway, you shoot into that room, and once again it's on a 6-second spawn, so you wait for the 6 seconds, they come back out again. This one might take a little bit longer for them to come out because they actually spawn at the back of the room, so they will have to come through the corridor and out the front, but then once they're there, you've got this cycle down a lock, and you repeat this process again and again and again. And as with all these caves, if you have people with you and you do it as a group, it's much more effective because you have less chance of them slipping out, and it's just a lot easier and quicker to take them down, so you can kind of repeat this process. Now, I spoke about using this for leveling as well, because I am leveling a second character. My hunter is currently sitting at level 28, But my Titan, however, who I just created today, is now sitting at level 11. Now it's worth noting, this area is a level 8 area, so if you create a new character you might want to do a few missions to get yourself to about level 6 first before you come here, because it's just going to make your life that little bit easier. But what you then do is use this exact same principle and shoot into that cave, into that room, into that hole, whatever you want to call it, with your new low level character. Now, I put a timer on this, and in about 25 minutes, depending on kind of like how effective your run is, 25 to 30 minutes, you will level up. Now I appreciate this doesn't necessarily sound like the fastest way to do it, but if you think about your conventional mission flow or your conventional kind of leveling flow, you go out, you do a story mission, you complete your quest, you go through a mission, you go through a cutscene, all that kind of stuff like that, and it's quite slow in that respect. Obviously, alternatively, you could just go to the Crucible, which is also quite a fast way to level, and I appreciate everyone's got their own way of doing things, but this is a viable way to do it. In about 25-30 minutes you've leveled up, so that's half an hour per level. In an hour you've got up 2 levels. Yes, I appreciate this is still quite a lengthy process, but when you consider the amount of time that people put into farming these caves, you set aside 4, 5, 6 hours, before you know it, you're level 12, level 14, whatever you want to do, and you've actually got quite far. I will admit it's not the most exciting thing in the world. In fact, I found it extremely boring, but it is still a way to level. So, if you're making a second character, and you don't want to grind through those story missions again where you deploy the ghost and defend him from inevitable waves of enemies, then instead you can come over here, sit at a cave, shoot for a few hours, and before you know it you've got to a relatively decent level. And if you want to make it slightly more exciting, then why not juggle it between Crucible? Jump in the Crucible, do some battles, level it up a bit, have some fun, jump back to the cave, do it until you get bored, and then repeat this cycle. So, there you have it. That's it for this video. 2 new caves, 2 new potential engram farming locations, and also the ability to level at the same time. So, hopefully you found this helpful, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit the like button, show your support, it does really help me out. Obviously, don't forget to subscribe for daily gaming videos. Also, drop a comment down below and let me know what you think of these 2 new caves. Have you been using them yet? And if so, have you been successful? Thanks again for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.